Hi, guys. Welcome back to another episode of Elevators. I'm Crystal Vega.
Hey, guys. I'm Amanda Booz. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us for another show. Back again.
Back again. Another week. New vibes, new motivation, new elevating. How are you, Amanda?
I am good, girl. I'm feeling amazing today, especially because I went to hot mat Pilates at the crack of dawn. I went to a 7 a.m. class. So I was up at 6 a.m. And you know what? I truly understand why the 5 a.m. and 6 a.m. girlies who work out in the morning feel like they're better than everybody else. Because honestly, they really are. Like, if you can get up before anyone else to work out, you're on another level. Like, you are in a league of your own. And I want to strive to be that multiple times during the week. But I'm feeling great. I don't know what caffeine my instructor took, but she was on one. She was on a girl. But I love a hot class. But I've been good. Gearing up for some summer travels. I know summer's coming to a close. Working, being consistent, staying in my lane, drinking my water, minding my business, all of the things. How are you?
I love that for you. I'm good. I am just getting back to being a 7 a.m. girly.
Yes.
It's such a struggle. Oh my God. Yeah. One day I would like to be like 5 a.m., but I'm like, I am not there yet.
Baby
I'm not that.
steps. Baby steps.
Baby steps. But I also am very realistic about the amount of hours I need to sleep so I could be the best version of myself. And it's like 9 to 10. So I'm like, if I'm getting up at 5, what time does that mean I got to go to sleep?
Wait, you need 9 to 10 hours of sleep?
Yes.
Girl, I've never heard that before.
I'm a sleepy girl.
10
I'm a sleepy
hours?
girl.
So what time do you go to bed?
Well, right now, I be in bed by like 10 o'clock. And so probably like 10:30, and I'm like 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 9 hours, baby. I don't play. I clock in. I clock in, honey. I wish I could get paid to sleep. Oh, I'd be so rich.
There's actually people that do. We gotta look into that for you.
I know. Yeah, I gotta figure it out. But yeah, there's so much happening. I'm good. So many things happening.
That's good.
In the world right now. And most recently, I don't know if you saw this, but MySpace is making a comeback.
Yes,
what do you think
girl,
about it?
I'm excited for MySpace to be making a comeback. I always say I'm not going to download another app, and then there I go on the app store downloading another app. So I will be joining MySpace just to see. I just want to see who all is going to be over there. Like, are you
really?
I miss MySpace. I honestly probably only speak to 8 friends consistently. No, like I really, no, I'm just joking. I probably do.
So you don't have to worry about your top 8 or top 5 or whatever.
It's easy. I'll just go to my phone favorites and pick those same people and add them over.
I remember those days that them top 8, top 5s, they used to start problems.
By the way, we were coders.
People was beefing about them.
A lot of y'all that had a MySpace page that people would reach out to you to create their page, you need to be working in tech, okay? If you were over there in the back pages of MySpace coding for the backgrounds, I really hope that you use that to your advantage. Like, I wasn't doing that. I was asking somebody, yo, I need this on my page. I want my page to be rearranged.
Really?
Yeah.
Girl, I was coding myself.
I did a couple of things, like here and there, but I didn't, like, the hard stuff, I couldn't do it.
Well, yeah, I used to spend hours in the library because I didn't even have like a computer at the time, a desktop at our house. So I used to spend hours at the library putting my music on or changing my background. Oh my God, putting sparkles on my background.
Of the things.
Lord,
girl.
what a time to be alive. But I will
know.
say,
if you never lived in the MySpace era, I feel bad for you. The Tumblr era, I feel bad for you. You know what? Thinking about it now, I'm okay with MySpace coming back, but you know what I think needs to come back? AOL chat rooms.
That's a good one.
AIM chat rooms.
That's a good one.
You got mail. I was in those chat rooms, had no business being in those chat rooms. When I say the conversations were so interesting, like I feel like we have threads now, and we did have like Clubhouse, which wasn't really texting. It was like actually hearing people's voices. But when Clubhouse was like popping during COVID, I was like, this reminds me of AOL chat rooms. Like, they need to bring that back.
Wait, okay, so I've never been on Clubhouse. However, I will say that the fun thing about AIM was that it was very inconspicuous. Like, you didn't really know who was behind the username.
Nothing.
Now you got the profile pictures on threads, and they can find you here and they can find you there. So it's like not as raw and real. I loved AIM. But I will also say, I don't think MySpace coming back is going to be a hit. Not gonna
We'll
lie.
see. I can see
I
it
think,
not being a hit, but
yeah,
I do think people will definitely still tap in just for the nostalgia of it.
the things that made it very fun require so much time, like the coding and the song picking and the top five. And at this grown age, not only A, do I not have the time, but B, some things are very specific for a specific moment in time and for a specific, like, when we think about timing, MySpace is like one of those things. Like, you just could never recreate something that was for a very specific moment in time and in your life. So I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to be a hit. I think it's a waste of money, actually.
I can see that because honestly, I feel like that about Facebook. I don't go on Facebook. Like if somebody tells me, "Hey, you got to look at this," or I want you to check this out, then I'll go on Facebook. But I feel like Facebook is not for my generation. Like I feel like Facebook is for like the older generation, like our aunts, our uncles, our moms, our dads are more on Facebook than we are. So I can see MySpace also having that same effect because you remember what it was like. Facebook was like one of those things you had to have because you knew it was only for college students. And even if you weren't a college student, just the fact that you couldn't have it, you were trying to get it. So I
Yes.
think it was like one of those things back in the day. But now it's like, okay, like I don't even know my Facebook. I haven't logged into that thing in forever. Like if there's
I only
anything
go
up,
on
I have
Facebook
no
if I
idea.
want to look at like people I went to high school with, like, oh,
You
what you
trying
been
to
up
see if
to?
you're doing
Oh,
better than
that's
them?
crazy.
You
No,
want to see?
you ain't shit. You ain't shit. No, and not that I was doing better than them, but I'm like, how many kids you got now? Like, what you got going
You think?
on,
Listen,
sister
you better
girl?
than them. How many
No.
kids? How many kids do y'all have now? Listen, because I'm not even there yet.
No, you know what? Because it's so funny. When I was growing up, I had like this. She wasn't like a close friend, but she was like a distant friend. And her mom like tried to tell her that she didn't want me hanging out with her because she thought that like I was in the street. First of all, I had curfew. My mom did not play that, but she thought that I was like the street girl, or whatever. And now I go on Facebook and I'm like, mm,
And
who,
even if you were
who,
in the street, you are now successful and you got businesses. So you should have probably been in the streets with me. Because
Right.
look at where
Hello.
I'm at now.
Hello. There was businesses in the street being built, okay?
Listen. That's hilarious.
But yeah, so another thing that's trending right now is the kitten heel slander.
Oh my God,
Y'all,
girl.
they are tearing the kitten heels up on the internet. I don't blame them.
So for those who don't know, Jim Jones has a podcast. It's called Let's Rap About It. And he was on his podcast, I believe, with like Fabulous and some other like rappers, and they were talking about Davies and like they were all talking about kitten heels not belonging in the club. Like he was straight up saying like, don't come in the section with kitten heels. And honestly, I agree with him. Kitten heels do not belong in the club. However, I am tired of men telling women what to wear. Like this is not like I'm not slandering kitten heels. I do own a couple pair of kitten heels as of this year. I have never been a kitten heel girl, but I was like, you know what? Let me see what's on this side. Let me see why the girls love kitten heels so much. And I will say kitten heels are very chic, but they have to be dressed the right way, but they do not belong at any nighttime activity. Like stiletto pumps in the club was created for that reason, okay? Y'all know the song, the Crime Mob song. Stilettos are in the club.
Leave the kitten heels in the closet. Let me tell you something.
The
hate
girls are gonna
heels.
eat us. The kitten heel girls are gonna eat us up. I love kitten heels.
Really, I dislike kitten heels. However, sandal kitten heels, the ones that look like flip-flops, I'm into those. But a kitten heel,
okay, that's
with
what
like
I
a
have.
style. There's
like
a difference. There's a difference.
Okay,
but what I'm saying, like my mom will come out with some kitten heels, and I'm like, go in a room. Go in a room. You cannot come outside with me with those heels. Put flats on. Yeah. I don't want to hear it. The sandal ones are cute. However, the sandal kitten heels are only for the daytime ladies.
Yes.
And they're only for a very specific outfit. If you're
Agreed.
giving Europe, if you're giving like just, like really throwback damsels, some capris, maybe even like a little maxi skirt. If you're going to Walmart and you want to throw them on, you're that girl. Very cute. You cannot wear those to the club. You cannot wear those out to dinner. They're not an evening shoe. And this is why fashion sense is very important, because you have to know what to wear when. Yeah. Not that you're morphing, but certain things aren't appropriate. You're not wearing an evening dress to brunch. Agreed. You have to have a sense of fashion.
There is a time and a place for everything, for sure.
Everything. And the other thing about these damn kitten heels is that the problem is they're everywhere. Yo, I seen this girl on TikTok. She had me cracking up because they were in the club. And she was like, these Ken heels, they're making me sick. All I see is meow, 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 meow. And I was crying because all I could think about was the damn commercial. I know exactly how she felt seeing so many girls
Oh my God.
outside at night in Ken heels. And the problem with that is that everybody be doing the same thing at the same time. That's a real problem.
That's a fact.
Everybody be doing the same thing at the same time. If it's trending, everybody's wearing the kitten heels, and it's a group of three, and y'all looking like the Three Musketeers in some damn kitten heels.
You could tell the girls that wear kitten heels because they feet be hurting, and you could tell the girls that wear kitten heels because it's like they have fashion sense. Like there's a difference. Like I'm also for the sandal kitten heels, and like I said, I only owned a pair this year just to see what it's like. But I am a stiletto girl. I love me a pair of heels. I think it's so feminine, so fun, so fashionable. And they do belong in the club. I may not necessarily belong in the club, but a stiletto is supposed to be worn in the club. So I agree with Jim Jones making that statement. However, we do not say anything when the men's be in the bedazzle pants, the bedazzle shorts, the bedazzle long pants, the bedazzle sweatshirts, the bedazzle t-shirts. I hate it. I think men should stop telling women what to wear because we don't say anything when they want to dress up like us. We let them do their thing. And I also think that men above 45
with the short crop top shirt.
Yeah, I hate the short crop tops. Hate it. Hate the cross earrings, the hoop earrings. I'm glad that I don't see those anymore. I hate all of it. I don't really like when men are over 45 dressing like they're 25. I also think that men shouldn't have braids if they're 45 and up. And that's just my take.
You know what? You just go ahead and you just ate them up. Because sometimes it don't even be the message. It be the messenger. You just ate it up. I'm here for the Ken Hill slander because I think it's hilarious. But I'm with you. Sometimes right message, wrong messenger.
Yeah. Because I think if it was coming from Anna Wintour, I would be like, oh, yeah, maybe I shouldn't wear the Ken Hill. Or, like, I don't know. But anyways, we digress. So I really wanted to talk about something that I feel like hit home for me. And I wanted to talk about this topic because I feel like a lot of people who tune into our show followed our journeys even beyond this podcast as we have been TV hosts and also have worked in the space of like media and journalism. And honestly, I was thinking about it. I've seen so much talk about like, is journalism dying? Like, oh my gosh, there's so many people that reach out to me. And I'm not sure if they do that to you, Crystal. Like, hey, do you have any advice for me? Like, what should I do? I want to have a career in journalism and I want to be a host. And honestly, looking back now, I would tell my little sister or my younger self, do not go to school for journalism. If you really, truly don't want, like, you have to be passionate about this, right? So I wouldn't tell people to do a path in going to journalism if they really and truly don't understand like the complexities of how media is changing and evolving. You may have a job today, you may not have a job tomorrow, but you got to know how to shift. So I wanted us to have that conversation and then also just talk about like the responsibility of just being first, checking sources, knowing your facts, knowing the source of where it's coming from, and just have that conversation.
I think that the thing is, I'm sick that I have a degree in like communications, which is like kind of like journalism. However, mostly because I'm like, these student loans. However, I learned so much with my communications degree simply about just communication, period. How people communicate through media, how people butt heads. Just so many things about communicating in general that I feel like I've been able to apply to myself and in my relationships and to, the world. However, journalism specifically is a very specific title for a specific person who does a very specific thing. Then you have internet personalities. You have
influencers, content creators.
These are all very different people. And the problem with journalism is not that it's dying. It's that we are using those words and those titles interchangeably, and they're very different things. Those people do very different things. So for me, it's really about not journalism dying, but it's about people being transparent and using the proper titles for what they do. Like, let's use words with the definitions that actually like go attached to those words. I'm not an internet personality saying that I'm a journalist. Very different things. An internet personality is somebody who is entertaining. They're giving you their POV on all the things that are happening. A journalist is not giving you any POV. They're giving you facts and they're telling you this is what happened. This is what this party says. This is what that party says in this dispute. So it's super important, in my opinion, when we're consuming news on the internet or just stories in general on the internet, understanding the source you are consuming it from first and foremost. First and foremost. Because you're not going to a celebrity to hear about what just happened in Israel. Yeah, they might know stuff, but they're already biased. They're a celebrity, they're a personality. They're not a journalist. Very different. So for me, it's not a journalism problem. It's a title interchanging problem.
Yeah.
And people who don't know the difference, they're like, oh yeah, she's a journalist. No, she's not. She's an influencer. Very different. She might talk about what's happening currently, but if your boots are not on the ground to be in these places, you're not a reporter and you're not a journalist.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if you're going to school for journalism, right now, these days, expect to work in hard news, which is okay. You do have to be passionate about it. But if you're going to go to school right now or you're going to pursue journalism and want to do hard news, just know it's going to be hard. It's not going to be the fun stuff. And I hear this all the time from people who work in the newsroom. They're like, I want to do that. They're like, I want to do that fun stuff. Like, I want to do brand stuff and I want to do this and I want to do that. And they can't do that because they're hard news. They have to be unbiased, just telling the story and reporting on what both parties have said about one specific topic.
Yeah, I agree. I think that everyone that has a camera, a microphone, and can tell a story is not a journalist. I agree. There is a specific skill set that you have to have. Not only don't you have to go to college and put in the hours and internships, mentorships, write stories, pitch stories, have the facts, leads, follow-ups, the unbiases, all of that. Like those things plus more make a journalist. There's different types of journalism for those who don't know. But I always say, like, my advice is, if you want to be a journalist, definitely go to school for it. I don't want to ever tell someone not to go to school and pursue their dreams. If you want to have a check every week, get into hard news. If you want to have a check a couple times a quarter, be in entertainment, because you're not getting a check every day. Like, you are going to be having to be a shark. You're going to have to, you eat what you kill. And literally, when you want to have the fun stuff, when you want to do the fun stuff, it's not easy being in entertainment and entertainment journalism. Like, think about it. Like, back in the day, E! News, like, you'd watch the red carpets, you'd see Juliana Rancic, you'd see like all these people. Like, that's not a thing anymore. There's no E! News anymore. Like, the things that we were pursuing and wanting to do as we were younger, pursuing this career in journalism, has changed. Like, I will also tell people who want to be in this career field, make sure you're building your brand online. You do not need to wait for a big network to be behind you, pushing you forward. Like, you can push yourself forward and the network will come to you.
Yeah. And even for entertainment journalists, again, a very specific definition. Yeah, it's entertainment, but you should have boots on the ground. You should be figuring out, oh, what happened to Britney Spears, asking questions, getting sources, getting information from different people who were there, facts. That's entertainment journalism. It's not just being on a carpet kikiing with a celebrity, because that's on air personality. And that's why the influencers are coming through and swapping up that position, because they're not looking for hardcore journalists these days. They're looking for internet personalities who could kiki with somebody and get a moment from them.
Yeah. And a lot of brands hire influencers to host carpets and do all the things because of the numbers. So it's a numbers game, but they're really just wanting an ROI, right? They want a return on their investment. They want to see that if I'm hiring an influencer that has millions of followers, that means more eyeballs are going to be on my brand. And the problem I have with that is allegedly, right? Because that doesn't always translate. Let's be clear on that. Because
it almost never translates.
It never translates. My issue with that is you can always tell when someone really has the proper skill set to be a host and an entertainment journalist on the carpet interviewing. They're asking the right questions. It's not cookie cutter. And there's always follow-up. There's always like emotions that you're listening to someone. You're not just ready to say your question and not like playing on what it is that's being said to you before you're feeding the questions. Like, and I think that you can tell, like, you can always, even with podcasters, you can tell when someone really is doing this because they're passionate about it and they want to inspire and influence people in the positive way. And then they're just doing it because it's a fad, or they're just doing it because it's a trend. Like, I'm over it. And honestly, when brands hire influencers and they don't get the proper content or the right questions, I low key giggle inside because I'm like, y'all should have hired us.
Yeah. Yeah. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Especially if you work for a press outlet specifically.
Yep.
If you work for an outlet that is followed by write-ups.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I think
you might need somebody professional to get you the information you're looking for.
Yeah. And honestly, it's just such a lost art form in just checking the facts and the misinformation. Like, people just look at headlines and don't do a deeper dive in looking into the stories. Like, if you're a consumer, if you're looking at something, I'm always like, oh, let me go look at another outlet and see what's being said. Like, let me not just base it on this. Let me see other things being said. And I don't know if that's just me having, like, going to school for journalism and communications, just knowing that I need to look at other, paint the picture in other areas versus just one. But I feel like we just take people's word for it these days. And I'm not really doing that. Like, I don't believe everything I see and everything that people say if I'm not doing my due diligence to check the facts, because we're in a day and age where people are like in a rush to be first and not right.
Yeah. Yes. 1,000%. And on top of that, it's a combination between people rushing to be first and people consuming a headline without doing the fact checking. Like you said, anything in life requires checking the source. Even if it doesn't apply to journalism or something like that, if you got a homegirl that you telling you're feeling Sue, but she's in a bad place right now, she might be projecting, her life on you, you got to check the source. You got to check the source. And it goes across every industry, not just journalism. You have to check the source because you never know who's being biased, who is projecting their own thoughts on you. And if you got a new idea and you telling your homegirl who is, you telling your homegirl, oh, I want to go into entrepreneurship, but, she's a queen 9-to-5 girl. That might not be your person to talk to. Anything in life comes with checking the source.
Absolutely.
I am not taking how to be rich advice from somebody who's broke. Check your sources. Unless they're going to be telling you how they lost it all, why are you listening to this person who has not been there, who does not have the expertise, who can't help you?
Everything, literally everything. Make sure we are fact checking and doing our due diligence every single time. And, I don't like to be on this like soapbox of saying like, oh, like, journalism is like a dying thing, because I think we already like touched on that at the top of the show. We don't think it is dying, but I do want to offer like a piece of advice to anyone who does want to be on this side. You have to have like your mind, you have to train your mind to always be thinking about reinventing yourself. I would be lying if I would tell you that I didn't think that I would be creating content right now. Like, I didn't know that my career was also going to be like, I have to wear all these different hats. And I love that Jamel Hill said this when she did an interview. She was like, you wear 20 different hats and do 20 different things for the companies you work for. Why not do it for yourself? You write for these companies. You're an admin. You do your finance. You do this. Like, you do the content. You do the branding. You do the editing. You do the PR. Do it for yourself. So if you're in this space of wanting to be a journalist or a host, create the content also and have your own personal brand, because a lot of the times people hire you based on the brand that you are producing online. So that should always be a constant, that you're building and growing a community outside of the one that you work for if you don't work for somebody. And then if you don't work for somebody, you should be doing that even more. Like, you should be literally front facing, talking to camera as much as you can. And if there's like things going on in your city, there's concerts, there's events. Like, I know Crystal was saying about the Britney Spears thing. Like, you can literally go interview people and go create your own stories. Like, I remember when I was creating my reel, and if you don't have a reel, definitely work on that. I was looking for content like to create for a reel, and I think I went to like a local event. I got a ticket and I literally was interviewing people. Like, it wasn't for work. I needed content for the reel. And I was like, let me go and create this content for my reel. And it went in my reel and it was amazing. Like, you can do a lot of things on your own. Like, I feel like a lot of people think that they need the big backing of a brand. And a lot of times these brands are just like us, trying to figure it out. Okay.
Listen, and it's funny to me that you say you didn't think that you would be creating content because I saw this coming.
Really?
And I think that it's so important to A, go with your gut,
Mm-hmm.
because I wish I would have went with my gut, but also B, being able to pre-predict your industry, and not just in journalism, whatever industry you work in, if it's tech or whatever, being able to see a new trending pattern happening or
Coming.
hearing the
Yeah.
conversations or like why people are being hired for this or whatever, and keep that stuff in your back pocket. I remember when I was first starting out hosting, how I saw people caring so much about social numbers, like, but in a weird way. I kept saying, yo, I used to tell Naomi all the time, like, I think I need to work on my numbers more. I think I need to work on my numbers. But it's so awkward because at that time, I was still in a corporate office. So now we see it where it's like the corporate baddies who are balancing social. At the time, I couldn't figure out how to do both without
Mm-hmm.
being cringe or
Right.
getting over the cringy feeling. So instead, I diverted to just on camera, let me focus on that, not realizing that eventually we were on air personalities were going to be replaced with influencers and content creators. I felt it, but I didn't know it for sure. And here I am 10 years later, like, oh, wow. I saw this coming and I'm pissed I didn't ride the wave. I'm pissed I didn't do the YouTube. I'm pissed I didn't stick to the first podcast that I started, because I also started a podcast in years ago. Imagine sticking to the things that you saw was going to work out in the future, but you didn't stick to it. You're going to look like me.
Yeah, and take it from us. Like, we're literally telling you guys all the things that we wish we would have done. And the beautiful thing about it, and we've talked about this on our show before, is you have free will. So you can do whatever it is that you want to do today. You can reinvent yourself right now. Like, you can create the content. And even for me and you, Crystal, like, we could still build and grow this community that we're building and growing online. There's no reason why we cannot do it. And yeah, I honestly, truthfully, like, I didn't see it that coming. Like, I feel like influencers are now and content creators are now the new celebrity. Like, remember when everybody's like, oh, this celebrity, like, we would see a lot of celebrities hosting things and like being like the front facing talent. Now it's creators online.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah. Every industry, though, every industry is feeling it in some type of way. And it's just a matter of, again, being able to identify that curve that you see coming and getting ahead of it and leaning into it.
And don't be a back in the day person. And what I mean by back in the day is, back in the day, we used to do this. This is today. Lean into the power of the pivot. You have to be a chameleon. You have to adapt in this industry. If the industry is shifting to digital, like, you need to be moving there too. It's been like that. It's no longer linear. Like, things are evolving and changing every single day. So if there's something new, I know we get irritated about like, oh, there's a new thing, there's a new trend, there's a new thing. You have to get used to getting yourself refreshed and updated on the new thing, because you don't know if that new thing is literally going to take your career to the next level. So don't live in the past, live in the future. So I definitely wanted to say that you're going to evolve as you grow in your career. Stay the course, be consistent, don't give up, but you have to lean into the power of pivoting all the time.
The last thing I want to say about this is that journalism is not dying. Using your brain is. People are not using their brains to be critical thinkers, and that's the real problem. We got to start using it. Because I know managers say, don't be like back in my day. But back in my day, my mama would be like, common sense. Common sense ain't so common. But guess what? We need to start, we need to bring that back. We need to bring back, what's common sense to you? Does that make sense? Does it make sense that this person makes millions of dollars doing what they claim to do, but they're selling a $35 ebook? Does that make sense? Let's use our fucking brain.
That part. So you know what? Let's also leave you guys with this. And I would also love for you guys to tap
on
in.
a positive note.
And it's not even necessarily like a positive note, but I'm just curious to know, because I know so many people are in so many different industries that listen to our podcast, and we are so grateful for each and every one of our listeners. What is something or like an unexpected change that's happening in your career that you are foreseeing right now? And how are you doing something to change that? Or what are you doing to like get ahead of the curve? Let us know in the comments. And if this episode resonated with you in any way, inspired you, made you laugh, kiki, anything, definitely share, like, comment, and subscribe to our podcast. We would love for you guys to hang tight and stick around with us on this journey. And yeah, we're gonna have more coming to y'all. More coming your way.
Yes. Bye, y'all.
Bye.